Hello, my name is Tega, and I just recently built a Chrome web extension which I believe every developer should have. It is called API Time Machine, and you can as well call it API Response Time Machine. A bit of background as to why I built this extension. There was a time I was debugging a front-end feature that had quietly stopped working, and then I noticed the data wasn't rendering correctly and nothing in the code had changed on my end. After about an hour of going in circles, I finally discovered the cause. A backend API had dropped a field from its response, and there was no even announcement, no changelog entry. The field was practically just gone. The frustrating part wasn't the bug itself, it was that I had no way to prove it. And by the time I noticed something was wrong, the old response had long since disappeared from DevTools. I couldn't even differentiate the current response against what it looked like before the deploy. So this led me to searching for a tool that would have caught this. I wanted something that could passively record API responses in the background, remember them across sessions, and tell me when the structure changes, but I didn't find one. And as you would probably know, DevTools resets on every navigation, so Postman only records what you explicitly send. Network proxies like Charles require you to know in advance that you want to capture something. This led me to build API Time Machine. So then, what is API Response Time Machine? It's a Chrome extension that records every JSON API response the browser makes, and it does this automatically. It persists across sessions, and one of the beautiful things is that it detects when a response silently changes shape. So allow me show you how to install this extension. Right, so I'll launch my Chrome browser, then go to the Chrome Web Store, and then click on this. So you come here and search for API response. Okay, we have it below this, and this is it. So for me, I have installed it, so you can go ahead and click on it. Here should show Add to Chrome, and then read through this page to understand how this extension works. And if you don't mind, you can watch this video. Right, so this is the Chrome web extension. Allow me to take you to a new tab just to show you how it works. So now that, let's come to the extension, and this is it here. So I'm just going to pin it for you to see. So I've been using it before now. Let's just go to, let's just search something like this, right, and let's click this for example. Alright, so now let me show you the extension. So you see, you can see this log under this feed tab showing just now. So it means it just actually logged this, and this is still it, 6 seconds ago, 6 seconds ago. You can see, look at the request we made, the get request, the post request. This happened 15 seconds ago. I'm just going to show you, like I said, I've been using it before now, 11 hours ago, 12 hours ago, 13 hours ago, right? So allow me to show you how it works, right? So when you install the extension, it wraps your browser's fetch and XML HTTP request at the page level, and it intercepts every JSON response before it reaches your application code. Now for each response, it captures the full body. So I'm just going to click on one of these and show you what I'm talking about. And I just say this. So for each response, it captures the full body. Now you can see all of this information. It captures also the request payload, as you can see. It captures the header, the headers, this is it, the status code, and then a structural schema derived from the JSON. This is the schema. In this case, it's empty. Let's look at the shape also. It's empty. I'm just going to click on another one. Let's say this, for example. Right. Look at it. Structured. It's structural schema. So this is derived from the JSON. Now, this schema is what is hashed. Every time the same endpoint is called, the new hash is compared against the last one. So what this means is that if the previous hash, if the new hash and the previous hash have differences, then the endpoint is flagged in the changes tab. I'm going to show you the changes tab right now. This is the changes tab. So if there's a change or there's a difference, you get to see it in these tabs. This happened about 13 hours ago. Let's just click on it to see. Okay, this is not recent though. Happened 13 hours ago. So you have the shape difference. You can also check the body difference. It shows you exactly what changed. Right? It shows you exactly what changed. And you can actually differentiate any two captured responses side by side using the same LCS algorithm Git uses for code changes. So I'm sure as a developer you're familiar with this kind of change. Right, so this is the diff, and also let me show you, this is the history, where you get to see a complete structural memory of every API your browser has stuck to. So this is the history. You get to see every API your browser has interacted with, and you can as well click on it, view the shape. You can even see when it happened, 6. Check the time, right? You can actually and one other beautiful thing is that you can export everything as a HAR file or JSON file. So you can decide to export as a JSON or as a HAR file, and once you click on export, for example, you see it downloaded, right? So you can share this with fellow developers, right? So everything is actually stored locally in the chrome.storage.local. The extension, this particular extension, does not make any outbound network requests whatsoever. You do not need any server, you do not need any accounts, you do not need any telemetry. Your API traffic stays on your machine. Right, so that being said, just close this and you can test it for yourself. Just browse different things. Right, works silently even in the background. So you get to see this works even in this. Now there's a shape change. And you can come and get it here. Right. So this is how the API response time machine works. Now one more thing is that this current version has its limitations, and the first is non-JSON responses are not captured, and this was done intentionally as this is its first version. Hopefully in subsequent versions it will be accounted for. So non-JSON responses are not captured. Also, WebSocket frames are not captured. You probably know that WebSocket intersection requires a different architecture from fetch and XHR wrapping. So that should come in subsequent versions. And one other thing is that no DevTools panel yet. We do not have the DevTools panel yet. Hopefully in subsequent versions it would also come. So feel free to use this extension, interact with it, and let me know what you think. I'm open to questions, suggestions, feedback. Right. So basically that's everything. Thank you very much.